Hi folks, and welcome to Tree Stand Buddies Game On. I'm your host, Nate Cline. This week we've got a double dose of deer action with Robby Gilbert and his rifle in PA. Then Jesse Cline's going to take his bow out for a spot and stalk in Ohio. Get ready, because Tree Stand Buddies Game On starts right now.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On is brought to you by the Tree Stand Buddy, the tree stand hanging system that's coming to a tree near you. Wild Dale's Booner Builder, build your invisible food plot today. Extreme Sighting Solutions, let extreme sights be the solution to your sighting problems. High Country Archery, celebrating 30 years of archery excellence. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots, make them thrive 365. Bush in a Bag, your personal ground concealment system. True Fire Releases and Broadheads. Products more archers trust. Kicks Industries, Get on Target. And Walnut Grove, makers of the Booger. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors.
Well, as everybody knows, I'm a die-hard gun hunter. And coming from the state of Pennsylvania, it's just a long tradition of gun hunting in my family. Well, this year's gun season was real tough. We just could not get on any shooter bucks. We were seeing lots of deer, which Pennsylvania is famous for. We just couldn't find that one buck that we wanted to pull the trigger on. So the one day it had snowed and we'd been out all day long, and it was cold, miserable. Just couldn't get on that special buck. Well, being a married guy, it comes a time when you got to take the wife out to eat and kind of calm the nerves and everything down. So she had come in, my wife's a school teacher, she had come in from work, and of course I'd been hunting, and I'd just come in. She says, "Are you going to take me out to eat tonight?" And I said, yeah, we'll go out. I said, "Tell you what, I won't even go hunting anywhere." I said, "I'll sit here at the house and watch my hillside. I'll watch it till dark, that way I can hurry up, get a shower, and we can get down the road." You see what Robby's trying to do here? He's trying to take his wife to dinner and squeeze in a deer hunt. That's using your head, Robby.
Well, it's getting down to the wire. Season's growing on. Don't have a whole lot of time left. I climbed up in the stand. I've had a lot of luck here in the past. I've taken a few nice bucks out of here. A place I know they're going to filter through. It's just going to be a matter of putting your time in. Hopefully it all works out. I've seen a couple does. What we're going to do here is we're going to sit in this cove and we're going to take advantage of being able to shoot hillside to hillside with a high-powered rifle. So hopefully it works out for us and we can put a good buck on the ground. I start seeing all these does. Well, I look up the head of the holler and I catch, there's a deer laying there. This huge bodied deer. So I get my spot and scope out and I start looking. I was like, oh my God, that's this 9-point. I'd been watching this 9-point all archery season and never even come close to killing. My brother actually come real close one night and I thought, there he is. So I get the camera set up and I'm rolling on this deer.
We're going to have to take a closer look at how well this deer is camouflaged in this dark spot. He's basically laying there undetected, except for the keen eyes of Robby Gilbert.
He won't move. He's just laying there. I bet I rolled on him for 15 minutes. Well, now it's really starting to get dark. I'm about ready to run out of shooting light. So finally I thought, you know what? I got to take him. So I picked the gun up, made sure the camera was on him, self-film hunt, pulled the trigger. He doesn't move.
We'll be right back to find out what happened with Robby's shot. Plus, we've got Jesse Cline on a spot and stalk bow hunt in Ohio. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
Extreme Sighting Solutions is new this season with the Terminator. We use the strongest CNC machine aircraft-grade aluminum available. We're bow hunters, and we know exactly what your equipment goes through each season. Our sights are durable, lightweight, and bright. Our pins are looking at 24 inches of some of the brightest fiber optic material on the market today, giving you the visibility you need to make those tough shots count, even in low light conditions. The new Terminator by Extreme Sighting Solutions just put one more advantage in your favor. Let Extreme Sights be the solution to all your sighting problems.
Hunters, are you sick of dropping your gear from your tree stand, then having to climb back down to get it? Walnut Grove has solved an old problem with a new idea, the booger. You may be fooled by its looks, but you'll be amazed by its abilities. If you drop it, this little booger will get it. The Booger by Walnut Grove Hunting Products. Proudly made in the USA.
You're watching Tree Stand Buddies Game On, coming to a tree near you.
Well, now it's really starting to get dark. I'm about ready to run out of shooting light. So finally I thought, you know what, I gotta take it. So I picked the gun up, made sure the camera was on him, self-film hunt, pulled the trigger, he doesn't move. Sounded like a good hit. I'm like, did I hit him? Did I miss him? So one of the advantages of filming a hunt is you can get the camera, you can run back to it and see if you hit it. So I stopped the camera, rewind it, and I could see that I slammed him.
That's the way it goes right there, folks. I seen this buck. I've been watching for a long time. He's just laying over there, and I think I put him down right in his bed. Right in his bed. Whew. These big bucks, that's what you got to do. It's hard to get on them. It's late in the year. It was cold. These deer been laid up, and I'm real excited to see what I got over here. He's good. He's one worth waiting on. It's not much of a hunt, but it's a typical late season snowy hunt. You just go up there and you glass, and hopefully you get lucky enough to find one laying down. And I did, and he never moved. Never moved. Awesome.
Before we hike across the mountain to find Robby's buck, let's see what Jesse and Rich have us for this week's In the Scope.
Hi folks, and welcome to this week's In the Scope. I'm Rich, this is Jess. This week we're going to talk about a couple of new products we're going to be using on the show. Jess, what do you got there for us first?
TrueFire. We got two new broadheads. The Switchblade we've been shooting for a while now, which, I mean, I love them. They are mechanical.
Fly just like a field tip.
Exactly.
And then we got the new T1, which is the first ever retention system for a fixed blade broadhead. It's spring loaded, which makes it super easy to change them blades when you nick one.
Love shooting them with my compound and my crossbow.
Exactly. So. What I got here is a brand new company coming out, Extreme Sighting Solutions. This is one of their first sights. It is CDC machine aircraft aluminum, super strong, super light, and durable. Each fiber optic pin has 2 feet of fiber optic in it. They got a Viper Fang design, so they're super strong, and you are not going to break those things.
That thing looks like it collects a lot of light.
It does. It does. They are super, super bright. And then to top it all off,
TrueFire releases.
TrueFire releases. You can't beat those things.
No. I've been shooting this one for a while. It's the fold back and spring loaded, so
it's
it holds
out of
back.
your way when you're not shooting.
Exactly. Climbing a tree, whatever, you got to fold it back.
Tuck it up underneath your sleeve.
Flip it over, you're ready to go.
That's it, guys. That's it for this week in the Scope. Check us out again next week for a couple great new products.
You can find TrueFire at TrueFire.com and Extreme Sighting Solutions at ExtremeSights.com. Now let's see what the slick shooting Robby Gilbert's got.
We're talking probably about a 300-yard shot. So I had to go down the hollow, up the other side.
I feel like Survivor Man on this recovery. I got my camera on my tripod. This was self-film. And just like everywhere I hunt at, it's a huge hill to have to climb up. When we get to the top here, we always have a pretty good buck laying here.
I get up there and that deer is just collapsing in his bed. And when I got to him, he was so much bigger than what I thought he was.
Oh, we're getting close to him. He should be right up here. Right on this point somewhere. There he is. I see him laying there.
There's nothing like the feeling of success on one of the last days of gun season in your home state. Good job, Robby.
Awesome. Awesome buck. Wow. He did not, but check out those brow tines. Holy cow. I bet he's got 5-inch brow tines. That buck is just utterly, utterly awesome. Probably 17, 18 inches wide. Good G2s, nice long beams, heavy. Incredible. Just incredible. And to be able to take a buck like this late in the year, just awesome. Awesome. He's a 9-point. Got good tines. Incredible. Just incredible. Well, now the fun part. Get him off this big mountain. We'll get a tag on him before we get him out of here and get on the phone and call the other headhunters and see what they think about it. Awesome.
Well, Robby, we think you did a heck of a job in PA, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Jesse and I are going to try to spot and stalk in Ohio, and we're going to see if we can find Wild Dale for this week's Power Play moment. Don't go anywhere.
Take year-round management to the next level with Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems.
Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems has everything you need to attract more wildlife and grow bigger bucks.
Quality seed blends, liquid fertilizers, herbicide, highly nutritious minerals.
When you put your deer on the Invite system, you'll see the results.
Allows your property to hold more deer and better deer, as well as more wildlife in general. Use Invite's complete line and you won't regret it.
Make them thrive 365.
This is the last day of a 4-day hunt. We saw a giant here last night. Here we go. You on him? Wait, your blade's out. What? The blade popped off the dang O-ring again. You just blew it.
Make the switch to a mechanical broadhead you can count on. The TrueFire Switchblade. Blades are easily reset. No O-rings. Guaranteed not to pre-open in flight.
Man, I'm making the switch.
The TrueFire Switchblade.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Kicks. Get on target.
Any chance I get to get out with my brother or friends and family, I'm all for it.
Now the forecast was just nasty, and Jesse and I decided we didn't have a whole lot of time to hunt together, so we decided to go for it. I pulled this off a couple of years ago with Josh McLaren on a great Ohio buck. Why not give it another shot?
It is absolutely way too windy to be in a tree stand today, so you know, as we've done in the past, Josh McLaren shot a buck from the ground, spot and stock. My brother shot several from the ground, spot and stock, so we're going to give it a try tonight. It's windy. Hopefully to keep our noise down a little bit, but we're going to stand back and glass a couple of these fields and see if we can sneak up on a big one tonight. See what we can do. I got a chance to get out with my brother early season, and he killed a dandy of a deer. Now it's his turn. He gets to ride behind the camera for me. We got a chance to get out in the afternoon together, and lo and behold, as my luck would have it, here comes the storm rolling in. Now, we're already out in the field, and we got halfway to where we wanted to be, and it started pouring down rain. I looked at him and said, you know what, I ain't gonna handle this much longer, so we headed back to the truck. You seen us a minute ago standing outside talking. Well, we made it about 75 yards and it downpoured. We run back to the truck, we're sitting here and looking at the radar. It's supposed to let up, so if it lets up, we'll be back out there. If not, we'll have to hit it again another day. Bad thunderstorms right there. Hopefully it'll pass us. It's saying 420, and it's 436 now that the most of the bad stuff's supposed to be past us, so this seems to be lightening up a little bit out there. You ready to get wet again?
You're my brother. Whatever you say.
I pulled my phone out, I checked the weather, and it was a downpour coming. And I told my brother, I said, hey, I'm already soaking wet. We might as well get out there and, make the most of it. I don't get that much time to hunt, with work and all, but we're gonna make the most of it.
Now, there aren't many guys that I'd get that wet with on a hunt, but my brother, he's definitely one of them. Now let's go see if we can find Wild Dale for this week's Power Play moment. I know he's a lot drier than we were on that hunt. Hi folks, and welcome to this week's Wild Dale's Booner Builder Power Play Moment of the Week. This week, Wild Dale and I are on a farm, and farms are a lot of the places that you and I are hunting because, let's face it, that's where the deer are. And what we're going to teach you how to do this week is put the deer that used to feed in these fields into the woods, which is going to save the farmers money, and it's going to get you more permission to hunt these places. Dale, you've taken Booner Builder and applied it to these hedgerows to keep deer out of the fields. Why would a deer prefer that over a planted crop field?
Well, generally a deer actually prefer 80% browse in their diet. Okay, crop field, grasses, clovers, and crop residue makes up about 20% of their diet.
80% is a huge chunk of a diet.
A huge chunk of the diet. Plus the diversity is in the native habitat where, like this year, this side's going to be corn. That side of the hedgerow, on the opposite side of this hedgerow, is going to be soybeans, which is going to be proteins.
Not to mention, there's also cover there, and there isn't cover out here.
There ain't cover out here. And not only that, wouldn't you prefer to keep them in bow range?
Absolutely.
Ain't that the name of the game?
These big fields like that we've got behind us, if a deer gets out in that, your bow is pretty much useless.
Useless.
So we hang our stands in these hedgerows, and on this particular farm, you've got pictures, and you've actually helped this farmer keep deer out of this field, route them around the field, and you've saved him money. How did that happen?
Actually, before they would always want to cut back and forth across this field, diagonally.
Cutting the corners.
Feeding out in the center, knocking it down, looking for the next best bean top, and just knocking the field, stomping it down more than what they was actually eating. It was that search that was doing the damage. By improving the quality of the browse on this hedgerow, we've actually been able to keep them on the edge of the crop, giving them a little bit of that crop on the edge to reduce that stomping it down.
That's saving these farmers a lot of money.
A lot of money. And it saves them, you know, a lot of that, how do you want to say it?
Saves them the headache of having to deal with all these deer out here. One of the reasons they give us permission is to reduce deer numbers. And if you're reducing deer numbers in the fields and actually taking the ones that are left and putting them in the woods, you've saved that farmer a lot of money. Why wouldn't he let you hunt there? If you can explain that, educate in an educated manner and tell them what you're going to do and help them, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get permission to do some of these things. And the way it looks these days, you can drive around the fields, and if you see that buck that you wanted and he's out in the field and you don't have permission, maybe Booner Builder might be that little extra edge to get permission on a property like that.
To explain it to them and show them how it's going to work.
And you guys have tested that. You people with apple orchards, anything. It's keeping deer out of those areas. You can actually almost build, if you want to think about it this way, a fence in the woods because the deer are going to stay in the woods and feed on these areas. So what we have tried to accomplish today is to teach you that you can move deer. We've been routing deer with Booner Builder. We've routed them through the woods under stands. Now we're going to route them out of fields back in the woods and under your stand again. So you've got all kinds of ways you can do it here.
Right. Keeping them in bow range, building that strategy in for keeping that animal, reducing crop damage, your strategy for the hunting, and maintaining the animals by upping the value of the native habitat through its plant improvements.
Now, if you've bow hunted, you know the term staging area. Booner Builder is helping you create a staging area. The bucks are in the woods because they prefer those foods and they prefer that cover, right?
Right.
And that's what we want. We want a place where we can get that perfect ambush spot. Now, don't forget, you can chat with Wild Dale on Facebook. You can send him an email on there or post something on his wall, and he's going to get back to you and help you answer all the questions that you have about Booner Builder and how to maximize your property. So for this week, we'll see you next time.
So we checked the weather, and I'm half soaked anyway. By the time we got back to the truck, I was soaking wet. Figured, hey, why not? Let's go. So we hopped out of the truck. I grabbed my bow, and he grabbed the camera, and away we went. Well, there ain't no sense in getting partially wet. Let's go get all wet.
We're headed out without a dry stitch of clothing between us. Whose idea was this anyway? We're going to find out what happens after the break.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
Wild Dale's Booner Builder is a new one-of-a-kind product that will help you keep and route deer where you want them. With as little as 2 applications, you can turn native wood browse into a more healthy and nutritious food source that deer crave. Not a sweet treat, mineral, fertilizer, or attractant, Booner Builder works within the plant itself to increase sugar production and total health of the plant, thus making it more desirable to wildlife. Now, for the first time, you can create browsing routes that lead directly to your stand without anyone else knowing about the honey hole you've secretly created. Bring that nocturnal buck you've been after right to your stand during daylight hours with Wild Dale's Booner Builder.
Hey, that's not what that's for. This is a Wildlife Energy shot.
Well, I guess this portion of the show is brought to you by Wildlife Energy Drinks.
Now the field that we're headed to, it's a long, drawn-out field, but just off the edge of it, when the wood starts, there's a roll in it that heads down in toward the bottom. Storms like that, deer always come up to that edge before dark. And they'll hang out in that bottom, especially when it's getting ready to rain or it has rained. They'll hang out in that bottom. That's what we were hoping to do, was sneak out the edge of the field there and peek down over every so often and try to catch up with a good buck.
We're down rain, going to the edge of this field. Just see a deer in the bottom coming up right at us.
We run into a couple does about halfway through our walk, and next thing I know, my brother's going, "Ooh, big buck, big buck." The way this hill rolled was we're at the edge of the field. There's a little dip and then it heads down into the bottom. It ain't but 15, 20 yards down to the bottom of this little ravine that the deer's standing in. And all I could make out was his bases. I kept asking my brother, you know, can you see the tines? How big is he? I can see a little bit of the back part of his body. And he said he's good enough to shoot. So I circled around his side there and tried to sneak in a little closer to where I could get up and make a good kill shot on him. The deer had his antlers in some brush, and this deer, it's raining, he has no clue we were there. So I'm gonna let the high country ring and I'm gonna stick an arrow in this thing.
What did I just tell you? Tell me what I just told you. We were 15 yards back, and they says, I can feel it. There's one up in here, I can feel it. I come right up through, right behind the ribs. It's sticking in that off shoulder. Come across that other side there. High country smoke. We're gonna have to hurry on this blood trail. It's raining pretty good there. There's blood spraying everywhere. Yes! Yeah, baby! He was caught up right there. He didn't go 70 yards. Let's go! Yeah, baby. I called my brother, or texted him today, told him I had a good feeling about tonight, and then this rolled in. It was beautiful all day. It started to get windy, and it started downpouring. We just worked the edge of this field out, and it paid off. These deer were in the bottom, and we just kept walking the edges and looking down, peeking down in there. My streak is ended, and I am happy. Man, I couldn't ask for a better shot. Quartering away from me. I let the high country ring. Oh man, I am so pumped up right now. Thanks for getting wet with me.
Hey, we're out of time for this week's show, but make sure you take the time to go to our Friends from Invite's Facebook page and post "I want my Invite food plot," and the boys from Invite will pick a winner and send you a free food plot. We'll see you back here next week on Tree Stand Buddies Game On.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been brought to you by Tree Stand Buddy at treestandbuddy.com. Wild Dale's Booner Builder at boonerbuilder.com. Extreme Sighting Solutions at extremesights.com. High Country Archery at highcountryarchery.com. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots at invitefpf.com. Bush in a Bag at bushnabag.com. Truefire releases and broadheads at truefire.com. Kicks Industries at kicks-ind.com. Game On Game Calls at outdoorinsightstv.com. And Walnut Grove at walnutgrovehunting.com. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors. Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been an Outdoor Insights television production. Find us online at outdoorinsightstv.com or on Facebook and Twitter.
I think it's this hot across the country, or is it just us in this barn here in Ohio? Looks good for
Look at the neck on that thing.
Sit back on your butt. I know it
That's
sucks.
the only dry part of my body.
I got the deer, got him off the hill, and still made it in time to take my wife out to eat that night.